Hey, welcome back to Freedom Algo, everybody. My name is Nick Bannock, and good to have you here. Good to have you here. Hope you're all having an amazing day. Dan, what's up? Good to see you. Good to see you, Project Panic, in the chat. Good to see you, Howard. All right. Oops. Just getting a couple of things set up here, making sure that we're all good. Let me know in the chat if this is your first time on the stream. Is this anybody's first time here on the stream? Let me know. Let me know. But welcome back, everybody. Appreciate you all. All right. So, we are getting really close to 5,000 subscribers. So right now, my goal for subscribers is just to get us to 5,000. That's the goal. It's a lot to get in one stream. It would be 28, but that is the goal right now. The main goal, 5,000 subscribers. All right, cool. Nice to have you here. Nice to have you here, Brian. They're really strange. You got a funny YouTube name, but hey, nice to have you here. We're trying to get to 5K subscribers, so if you haven't done so, definitely subscribe. And our like target for today is 60. We have a goal of getting 60 likes on stream. So if you haven't done so already, please give us a like. Oh, come on. Dude, someone just unsubscribed right when I said that. You got to be kidding me. Now we got to make 29 subscribers. Well, we're trying to get to 5K. You know, we got one more to attain there, so that's all right. Dude, if we can we're trying to get to 5K. I'm really hoping that the 5K happens while on stream. Hey, good to see you, Daryl. Good to see you, Ken. Good to have you here. So you can see here, we've got some resistance up here. So I'm just watching this. I'm going to zoom out in a second and talk about the price action, but I just want to see what happens here. Jay, good to have you here. What up, fam? Howard's in here. He's ready to throw tomatoes at you. All right, let's see here. Oh, dude, we lost 2 subscribers? How are we going to lose 2 subscribers in the stream? Now we're down to 49.70, so now we need to make 30. Well, that's all right. Hey, you know what? I'm not for everybody. It's going to happen. Saul, good to see you. Welcome. Everybody, let's get some likes cruising. Let me make sure that sometimes the like counter takes forever to start to actually work. So let me just see what's going on here. Sometimes it takes a few minutes before it shows anything, so it'll show 0 for a little while. So we'll just give it a bit. It should update soon. There it goes. All right, it's starting to work now. We got 14 likes. We're trying to get to 60. We're trying to get 30 subscribers now to get to 5,000. We were at 49.72, but we got some people trolling. All right, let's see what happens here. Are we going to get another triple test? Possibly. So I'm going to watch this real quick because I want to see if we get triple test. Yep. Project Panic. That is one of the best emojis out right now.
Submitted.
Well, short-lived. I was gonna try to take a trade here if it set up for me, but that's why I had the order out. But you can see signal bar is just not great. It's a doji. It's only 5 ticks, but just not the best signal bar for me, unfortunately. If you had a better signal bar here, it looked like we were gonna form a triple test. It's not the perfect one, but it's pretty good. You can see. So let's see how far this actually goes. Yeah. You know, that was one of those ones where I'm like, man, I wanted to take a trade there. But I just couldn't do it because the signal bar just didn't qualify. It'll happen sometimes like that, you know? It'll happen sometimes like that. So you just got to be okay with that. You got to follow the rules. Got to follow the rules. But that's why I had the order ready to go. I was going to take a small little short there, but it just ended up not playing out the way that I wanted it to. Let me see something here. Good morning, Toad. Good to see you. Good to see you. Yeah, you can see that was like, I'm going to mark this not because I would take it because the signal bar doesn't qualify for me. So I have to mark it as a green. But if this closed one tick lower, I would have taken this as a red arrow short. So I'm going to mark it as a green only because on my chart it's not a good signal bar. But if this closed one tick lower, I would have taken that and it would have been perfect for a scalp. So anyway, I'll mark it as a green. You know, not perfect. And also the other reason it's not perfect is that like this high and this high is slightly higher over here. So you do have to wonder, like, are we going to try to make like one more quick little wick up before it reverses? But the other thing is we're not going to the lows of the channel now. So now I'd be a little hesitant to take anything here. But there it was. If you had a good signal bar there, that would have been a little scalp. But I had to cancel the order because I didn't have a good signal bar. All right, so if you're here, please give the video a like. Give the stream a like. We're trying to get up to 60 likes today. We're trying to get to 5K. We're trying to get to 5K subscribers. We're on the road to 5K. We're almost there. Dr. Footballhead, nice. I'm glad that you got it. Yeah, man, you don't want to take those when the signal bar is like that. It's just not ideal. You want it to close in the lower 1/3. Now, technically, this one closed. It was only a 5-tick bar. So you're not really going to get much of a lower 1/3 there sometimes because if you look at where it actually closed, it closed 2 ticks from its low. So it's one of those funny ones because it's like you don't really have a lower 1/3 in that way. Does that make sense? Like it's closing 2 ticks from its low on a 5-tick bar. So for it to technically be the lower 1/3, you need it to close within a tick of its low on a 5-tick bar. Because if it closes at 2 ticks, there's no decimals in here. So it's one of those funny ones where it's like it's not really the lower 1/3, but it's next to the lower 1/3. So that's one of those funny ones. But it's there. You know, it's there. You could play this double top right here as a lower high, but that's definitely playing with fire. So I'm not going to mark that. All right, so let's zoom out here. Yeah, exactly. In between a tick. Because if it's a 5-tick bar, you know, if it closes 2 ticks from its low, it's technically not the lower 1/3. If it closes 1 tick from its low, it is the lower 1/3. But we don't have a 1.5 tick to really give us a proper, you know, measurement or whatever. So that's one of those ones where you got to use your discretion. I almost took it, but I don't want to be irresponsible on stream here, taking a green arrow like that. First trade right in the beginning of the stream. If it was a red arrow, I would have taken it. So there you go. But there you go. That's just showing you that this strategy works. And you saw that I had the order ready to go. It's pretty low risk. Yeah, exactly. It's a 5-tick bar. So if you take a loss on that, you're not going to have a big loss. All right, everybody. Let's get into the actual price action here. So this morning when I came in, I was looking at this here. I was looking at this area, this dotted line over here was a close from last week on Friday, and we had not come back there yet. So when we opened the next day, we kind of just shot up, and we had a big gap from that day. So I was expecting us to fill this. Now in the overnight, we filled it to the tick right here, but I thought we would fill it during the regular session. So what ended up happening was price opened up here right below yesterday's close, came down, came back, filled it. Then it went down and filled that gap, and then it kept going lower. And the midline lines up pretty much right where that is. So originally I had the range lows down here, but later I made them down here, down at the lows. And so if I zoom out, you can kind of see this here. basically it's just a big range, big sideways range, and we're kind of hanging out near the middle of the range right now. And that's what it is. It's a range day. We did have a big down move, and so I'll talk about these setups. There is a failure in here. I do think it's risky. We can talk about it though, because you wouldn't have really known for sure that you're going to confirm this down channel. But here's what you got. So you had this up channel, down channel, another up channel, and then right here, this didn't make a new high. So you can see that this high is 63.4950. Hey, good morning, Das. Good morning. And then this high is 63.4925. So it didn't quite make a new high. So then it pulls back. It gives you a first entry long, pullback, second entry long. Really nice signal bar. It's only a 5-tick bar, super low risk. The only reason I marked it as a green instead of a blue is that this was looking pretty aggressive as a down move, and you didn't know for sure if there might be like something like this that had formed and that you're still in like this little tighter down channel. So that's the only reason. It's not perfect, but I played it as this, close outside, new low, so you could take that. Ends up being a pretty low risk setup. Nice one. And then after that, it ends up failing. Now, I don't think you want to take the failure because it formed above the EMA, and you don't know for sure that that's going to dump. It does. And unfortunately, there's just no setup in this down move. It just runs without you all the way down, and there just isn't a setup in there. It doesn't really give you anything. There's no signal bars that are good to take on the pullbacks. There's just nothing there. So you just kind of have to watch that whole move go, unfortunately. It closes outside here, and it gives you a first entry, second entry short. Unfortunately, you don't get a good signal bar. If you had a good signal bar on your chart, you could take the second entry short, but you don't. I don't get one, so I end up taking this one. So I did take this lower high here. I did have this lower high, and this was a good setup. So I looked at this as a first entry, second entry short. It has played out, but then you get this lower high, and it's really aggressive. It forms also below the 21 EMA, and we still need a new low. And after an aggressive move like that, we're gonna get a new low. Like, this was, to me, this was a pretty good one to take. It just, the shape of it, the way it was coming down, it was almost forming a little down move in itself. Really nice one. Then you even get a failed second entry long here, but unfortunately you get an inside bar here that doesn't close below, because I was gonna take another one here because it comes back and stops the runner. So I was gonna take another one here, but when this bar didn't break below it, I don't like to enter after an inside bar like that, so I stayed out of that. But that was a nice failure too, because you're expecting a new low. Now it doesn't quite get there, but it gets close. Let me see. Someone is saying that their chart doesn't look like mine. All right, so Frank, I'm on the ES. You're saying SE. I don't know what the SE. I don't know what that is. I'm on the ES. The ES, yes, it's the 925, 2000 tick chart. So I'm not sure. That's what I'm on. So I don't know. Not sure what you're saying. Daryl, nice. Glad that you took that one. That's a good one. Really nice setup. Easy trade. Then it comes down, and we don't make a new low, but we keep bouncing here. And then we come up here. Now, this was a decent one because you have this low. You have a first entry short right here. And then it comes up and makes a second entry short. It's also a close outside and a new high. It's also a triple test off the blue line if you played this like a failed breakout. So there's a lot of reasons to like that one. Again, it's an 8-tick bar, pretty low risk, easy setup. Nice little scalp short. Comes up, rejects this high, but you don't get I don't think you want to take that. Nothing really there for me. And then it just gets sideways. It finally does come up. There is a trade here that originally I didn't take this short, but it is here. I noticed this one, like, I think originally I had this drawn a little wider, but if you drew it like this, then you have a first entry short, second entry short with another close outside, new high, and it's far from the EMA. So you can take that one. You can definitely take that one. It's a little riskier. You want like a lower high to form up here, but it doesn't happen. So that'll happen there. You know, it's this one, again, it was a little bit more risky for me because we were in this kind of possible up channel forming now, but it is off those highs. Looking a little bit like an overshoot even there. So decent. We come down, we make 2 legs back. We try to break back in the range and fail. no setups in here. And then it comes up. We do get a triple test right here, but I don't get a signal bar. If you got a signal bar there, you could take this as a triple test and second entry short, but I just don't have one, so I had to ignore that. Some people asked me about this right here as a second entry long, but I don't know. This is too much like a double top to me to count this like a leg. So I just looked at this as a first entry, so I don't think you can take that. And also, like, you just failed to make a new high, so you could reject back down. So I was waiting to see if we got one more leg and maybe a bounce here, but we didn't. And then we come up. We get another test here, fail, but there's no signal bar. And now we come over. Here's the trade that we just talked about. It's right there. And now we are not really off of anything down here. Now, are we forming possible lows here? You could argue maybe, like, are we forming some sort of a, you know, is this becoming the low? It kind of lines up pretty decently to some of these levels. So that might be where we're at. We might bounce from there. So we'll draw this line just in case. I wouldn't necessarily take this test right here, just because, like, that failed breakout, it's not really a triple test. But let's see what happens up here. We're not quite coming back down to the range low, or the range high, I mean, either. The range high right there, or the range low. So we might go higher. I mean, to me, it looks like we're going to try to break out the upside of this soon. Because if you just zoom out and look, we're making higher lows this whole time. So, like, you can't ignore the fact that every swing low is pretty much higher than the last. Yeah, there's some little mini swings in there, but overall, these are making higher lows. So you gotta be aware of that here. It's a bullish imbalance, which basically means that in the range we have an imbalance to the upside. It's pushing higher, even though it's still a range. And you can just see that just if you zoom out. Just zoom out, scroll out, do this, and you can see what I'm talking about. Like, this is gradually getting higher. Now, the highs aren't getting higher yet. So we do have a new kind of like micro range here. But we could easily break through this and move higher. So we got to be patient. That's another rejection from the highs, it looks like, or at least it's trying to reject. But you see how this keeps moving a little higher now? So now you got to push this up a little higher, and now we're right there. And now our high, whoops, I didn't mean to move that. Now our high is looking like right here. It keeps on inching higher there. The closes are inching higher. So you have to be cautious here. Got to be cautious taking a short. Everybody, welcome to the stream. I appreciate you all. We're at 25 likes. We're trying to get to 60 today. Let's get cruising. Everybody hit that like button. Let's get the stream out to more people. We're on the road to 5K subscribers, so the subscriber goal is 5K. Even if we don't hit it, we're going for it. That's the goal. 5K subscribers. We're trying to get there, and we're trying to get to 60 likes today. So let's get cruising, everybody. Let's get cruising. If you're new here, I'll let you know a little bit about how we do things. Right here. Here, let me move the price action so you can see it. There we go. Sorry. My bad. My bad. My bad. This is the link tree. It is in the chat. Hey, Druv. Good to see you. This is the link tree. It's in the chat. It's also in the description. We got a free trading Discord that you can join. Instagram, TikTok are in here. You can go to my YouTube channel. When you go to my YouTube channel, you can go to the videos. There's a bunch of stuff in here, strategy videos. The video that we released on Sunday right here, this video is last week's stream recap. So if you're new to the channel, go check that video out, and you'll get a recap of last week's streams. Yeah, for sure, Toad. It's definitely, it's definitely. And then as you go down here, you'll see my full course. This is a 4-hour course, actual sections from my paid course here. You'll see some different strategy videos on the channel. You can also see my Ninja Trader setup guide right here. That'll help you learn how to set up the tick chart with the free version of Ninja Trader. It won't look exactly the same as mine because I have some toolbars that are paid solutions. If you want to see the full way that I set mine up, it's in here. So for $99 a month, you can join my school membership. You can get access to my course. When you go into the course in here, where is it? Somewhere in here, there's a setting up Ninja Trader, setting up the chart. And this is that video will give you like my full setup, how I do it, everything in there. This is my full course in here. Everything's included. My recorded live calls are all in here. So we have live calls every week Tomorrow is our next one. So if you join before tomorrow, you can join that Zoom call. It gets recorded and put in here for you. It's a training call. And there's a whole schedule in here, my live stream schedule, everything else. And then I have my community, which I post in here throughout the session. So I'm posting my chart updates throughout the session. You can see that here. And I also, you get access to a premium section of Discord once you join. And I post everything in Discord. And we're having discussions throughout the whole morning session as we're trading. So that's all in there for you to check out. So let me know if you have any questions on that. All right. Let me see here. Let me see. So I'm going to wait and see if any more questions are coming through. Let me know if you have any questions in the chat, everybody. Let me know if you have any questions in the chat. We just rejected the top of the channel. So now we just got to be patient here for a minute and see what comes up. I'm just checking a couple of messages real fast, so bear with me one moment. All right, sorry about that. Had a quick message that I had to deal with. Let me minimize that. All right. I'm back. Sorry about that, guys. Got distracted for a minute. Everybody, please like the stream. We're trying to get more people in here. Let's get this thing out there. We got 34 likes. We're trying to get to 60 today. We're on the road to 5K subscribers. Let's go, fam. Let's go. Jay, 2001, I saw that you said nailed that one. You're probably talking about one of these second entries. Those were some nice setups, so glad you got those trades. Glad you got those. Nice work. Nice work. I'm going to get some incense going. All right. All right, let's see. Hey, Matt, good to see you. Yeah, well, Jay, the reason I don't want to do that is because if, like, the problem is people will enter late. People will enter trades late and end up getting wrecked because they'll get a bad entry and it will go further than their scalp and all that. And so I'm trying to avoid that. What I'm really trying to focus on is making sure that people learn. The whole idea with what we do is for you to learn how to spot them as they set up, right? Like, I'm trying to help people learn how to spot their own entries versus it being more like a signals type thing. So that's the whole plan, is for you to really get and be able to spot them. And if you ask people who have been in the community for a while now, people who've been in the Discord, people who've been in the paid community for a while, they'll tell you that like they spot the trades on their own now because of the way that we do this. So it's actually very deliberate the way that I structure things, because I want people to it's the classic thing of like, teach a person how to fish instead of giving them the fish. It's really meant to be teaching you so that you're spotting it on your own, right? You don't want it to be necessarily a like a crutch or like a signal type thing and all that, because that doesn't really work for long term. So once you're in it for a while, you'll learn how to spot all these setups, especially as you go through the whole course. And that's the whole idea. You really want to learn that. And so I think that you'll get there. You'll get there. Once you get through the full course, you spend enough time in front of the screen, you really learn the system, you stick with it, you don't stray from it, you will get there and you'll be able to spot all the setups on your own. And being in the paid Discord and stuff will just be helpful for like seeing like the nuance of how we're drawing our trend lines, seeing like if there's some stuff that you might be missing out, or if there's like a question that you have on something in real time, that sort of thing. All right, let's see here. Everybody, welcome to the stream. Welcome. I hope you're all having an amazing day, an amazing week. Checking your homework at 11:30. That's funny. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, you know, basically the idea here is you can follow along in real time to make sure that you're drawing your chart the right way, because one of the biggest things with the strategy is that if your trend line is drawn wrong, you will get trades wrong. So part of the value is in seeing how I'm drawing the trend lines, right? That's part of the value here, and being able to follow along with that in real time. That's how I see it. Yeah, Dr. Footballhead. I think, yeah, well, Dr. Footballhead, I think you were quick about it. So Dr. Footballhead, I know that you were but let me know, Dr. Footballhead, did you do the entire course when you were in the paid community? Did you do the entire course? Because you weren't in it for very long. So a lot of people, it takes them a little while to do the whole course if they're doing it. Like, you can hammer it all out, right? Because it's not that long. Like, it's somewhere between 10 and 20 hours of content. I think it's like 14 hours maybe at the most. It might be like, maybe it's, I'd have to go back and look, but it's not that many hours of content to get through the course. But a lot of people, it takes them over a month to do it, just because they're going through it step by step, they're repeating sections, that sort of thing. So curious if you ended up going through the entire course when you were in the paid. Let me know. We get some real-time feedback from Dr. Footballhead. All right, so this is cruising down. We get a close outside here. This is not the best looking, most convincing close outside, but it's there. So we just got to be patient here. Watch this thing go down to the lows and then see if we can maybe get a triple test. Again, I don't think that you really want to take this triple test. You can argue that there's actually a pullback first entry long. I probably should have marked it at least. I probably should have marked it, to be honest with you. Like, this is a triple test right here. It's just not the best, because it's like this version of the test was a failed breakout. Then you get a test here. It is a higher low. I mean, you could maybe argue that this is sort of a triple test. It is a second entry long. So, I mean, if you took that, I'm not going to fault you. I just think it's not ideal. But it is a pullback first entry long, and this breaks lower. So above this is a second entry long. So it probably will trap some shorts there. So that's a possibility. We can mark it. We can mark it. We're just sitting sideways here. Keep on ending up in these little micro ranges today. Yeah, exactly. You got to go back and watch it again. So that's the thing. That's the thing. I actually think that for a lot of people, I actually think that the best move and the way it's designed is go through the entire course, set up and then get your chart set up, do all that, get your demo account set up, start watching in real time, join the live streams, watch in real time as you're doing it each day. Watch the real time market. And then what I think is the best way to do it is then after you've been watching the real time market for a little bit, watch the entire course again. And the reason for that is because a lot of the concepts, the way the price action prints, a lot of the stuff, it really makes more sense and it clicks more the second time. Like when I was learning this and I was using like the materials from Mac, I was like, I read the price action manual several times, went through the videos on the site several times, like over the course of time. And I remember when I went through all the materials again, like 6 months later, they all made more sense. So I think with like my system, what you really want to do is go through the paid course, start watching in real time every day, doing as much time as you can, joining all the calls, asking questions, watching the live streams, and then, you know, maybe after like in month 2 or even month 3, watch the entire course again, and you'll get so much more out of it. You'll just get so much more from that, and that's the way to look at it, man. I must be getting popular. The YouTube ads are nonstop. What? Yeah, let me know what's going on with those. Let me know because I don't see them. I have YouTube Premium, so I don't see any ads or anything. So I don't even know what's going on there. But let me know. Let me know. Yeah. So sorry if they're annoying. Let me know how they actually are because I have no clue how they even are on the stream and stuff. I simply don't know much about them. But yeah. Let me know, because I haven't had ads on YouTube for like many years because I've had YouTube Premium for so long. Because like back in the day I had the Google Play Music when it was called Google Play Music instead of Spotify, because it gave me access to YouTube. It used to be called, I think, YouTube Red or something like that. And then it gave me access to that, and then they just changed it to YouTube Music, and that gives you like the premium YouTube. And I've had that for so long. So yeah, I'm just curious. Yeah, let me know. I'm just curious how that goes. I'm curious how that looks. But yeah, that makes sense. So, while I was looking at the other screen and talking to you, there is a triple test that is forming here off these lows. It's just a little bit of a dicey spot though, because it's like a pretty big bar from the low. You do have some room here. So there is another triple test that just formed. I was just looking at the other screen while it happened. The only thing about this triple test is like, you know, it is just a first entry off of here, but it is a close outside and a new low. You do have the close outside, new low. So there's reasons to like a triple test here. And you can see that there. I think you got plenty of room to the midline, it looks like. Yeah, you got plenty of room to the midline. So that's a nice one right there. So let's see who took it. Dr. Footballhead, you took it. Nice. Nice. That's a pretty good one. We'll mark that one as a blue. I mean, it's basically a perfect signal bar. Perfect triple test. We are still making those higher lows. It's right off that level. So I like it. Sheesh. That's a lot. Alright, well, I don't know. I'll have to keep an eye on. I'll have to see if there's any settings I can adjust. So just like, we'll see. I mean, is just kind of how it is, I think. Like, they just, I don't know. You never really know what they're going to be doing, but you never know what the system's going to be doing. So, my bad if that's annoying. Alright. Doesn't look like we're actually going to get a trend line here, but we might. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't watched. Oh, nice, Toad. Nice, nice. Good to hear it. Good to hear it. We'll just do this like this. All right, we'll see what happens there. Yeah, I think we've been getting a lot more people in the stream, so that could be part of it. That could be part of it. But hey, glad to have everybody here. We've gained a few subscribers. We started with stream with 49, I think 72. We lost 2, gained 3. We're trying to get to 5K subscribers. That's the target. So we'll get there. I'm really hoping it happens while we're on stream, but it might happen after the fact. It would be pretty sweet if it happens while we're on stream to get to 5K. And then we're trying to get to 60 likes. So if you're new here, if you haven't liked the video already, please like it so we can get the stream out to more people. Yeah, I mean, Toad, the thing is, like, when the EMA is sideways, you just have to know, like, don't worry about it. You're in a range. You're trading a different rule set. Das, you try to avoid it. I actually like range trading. I think it's kind of convenient because it's like, if you're getting consistent highs and lows, it can be really nice overall. So I actually like range trading. Trend trading is always great too. I mean, I like both, but you know. You know, replay testing is decent. Look, replay testing is great. It is good to use the replay test. The only thing and it will help you, but there's no substitute for demo trading on the live market because it's real time and it's how it's going to actually be when you're really trading with a cash account. So there is no substitute for just putting the time in on the real live market, because your emotions and the way that you feel and everything is different when it's actually live. So there is no substitute for the live market. I will say that. But the replay testing is still better than back testing and stuff. Like, it's still going to help you. So nothing wrong with that. I think it's a good way to start learning it. It's a good way while you're like really trying to understand the concepts and spot things. It will just accelerate your process. But you're definitely going to need to spend a decent amount of time just trading the live market with a demo account to really get the vibe and to really understand it. So that's the way I look at it. Hey, and thanks everybody who liked already and subscribed. If you haven't done so already, please like and subscribe. All right, so we got the triple test here. We got this little uptrend working. We're coming towards the top of this channel. You know, the thing again that you got to keep being aware of though is that these lows keep getting slightly higher. We still have an imbalance. The highs aren't getting higher, but the lows are. So that's interesting. Yeah, exactly, DOS. Like, replaying on Ninja can be helpful. Dr. Footballhead, yeah, hey, that might be, hey, you know, that's, I just think that, like, who knows what's going on there, who knows, hey, Left Foot Break, good to see you again, good to see you in the chat again, welcome, appreciate everybody for being here. Good to have everybody here today. I hope everybody had an amazing morning, and I hope you had a good start to your week. Let's see here. Let me see. I'm gonna do I'll run a poll here. Let's run a poll. All right, let's get the poll going here. Let's see if that'll work. All right, I got a poll going here. We got a poll going. It's how is your trading week going? 3 options. I'm on fire, I'm struggling, or mediocre. Let me know. Let me know. What's up, Howard? Yeah, what's going on? Some people said that there's a lot more than normal, which I don't know. I mean, it's like it's all automatic, so I can't really tell. But hey, everybody here, please like the stream. Please like the stream. Please subscribe. We're trying to get to 5K subscribers. We're trying to get to 60 likes for the stream goals. And we got a poll in the chat. So in the chat, you can participate in a poll. Just checking in with everybody to see how their trading week is going, what we can talk about. This poll will help kind of guide the discussion so we can kind of go over some stuff. So that's why I like it. Dots. Left foot break. You caught a short on the market open. Nice. That's cool. That's cool. I didn't have a really good setup for a short during the market open. There was a lot of other stuff that was set up. All right. Let me see here. Let me see. Toad, you said, have I... I've never heard about that. Rhythmic, tick place. Never heard of that, Toad. I don't know anything about it, so I can't answer that. Awesome, Dr. Footballhead. Good to hear it. Good to hear it. Making some progress. Good to hear it, Dr. Footballhead. Good to hear it. That's cool, man. That's cool. Taking it slow. Taking it slow. That's the way to do it. Yeah, Howard, I don't think we can control it. It's all automatic. I think, like, someone was saying, like, we must be just getting more... I think it's because our streams are getting more traction. And we're just... Which is good. Hey, it's all good stuff. But, you know, hopefully it's, like, skippable type stuff. And it's not messing with people too much. All right, Steve. So Steve said... You keep holding trades a little too long. You go from being up, waiting for one more bar, to going negative. You know what? So, Steve, there's a few ways to handle this. There's a few ways to handle this. You got to, first of all, analyze, like, what is that in you? Is it because you have a fear of missing out? Is it a greed factor? Like, you just feel like you need the trade to go super big? Like, so there's a few types of ways to look at this. No, I'm not currently in a trade. All these arrows are the trades that we just have marked. I'm not sitting in a trade right now. But, all right, so, Steve, what you want to do here is you want to look at it like this. Like, if you're having a challenge with holding trades for too long, going negative, you know, analyze, is it a fear of missing out? Is it greed? Start to think about, like, what's really happening there. And also, I don't know your strategy. I don't know if you're trading the same system as me, if you're trading my strategy or whatnot. But, like, you got to think of it like this. The ways to really manage your trading are as follows, especially if you're a scalper. You can scalp a little bit and then move your stop to break even and leave a runner. That's what I do. I scalp like about 80% or so of my position. Then I leave a runner and try to get more. Sometimes I don't even take the runner. I just take the whole thing off if I feel like the market is like doing some choppy stuff. The other thing you can do is you can trade where you go and you move your stop to break even at a certain point and then you let it run. You have to be okay with it coming back to stop you at break even if that happens, right? You have to be okay with that. You can also have a bigger target and just let the whole thing go and be okay with the loss. I think that it's better for most traders to move their stop to break even when they get to a certain amount of profit at least, so that at least then they're not going to lose anything on the trade, you know? Like if you, or maybe break even +1, so at least their commissions are covered with a tiny profit if it comes back. And so you can basically treat the whole position as a runner, or you can scalp some and exit some. Another thing you can do is move your stop to break even and take a few different take profits along the way, and at least you're then locking in profit. So you got to think about what works best for you, and you got to test it on a demo account and see what works best for you with your personality. Like, I know some traders who they just move their entire position to break even and let the whole thing run, and they try to get a huge winner, and they're okay with getting a bunch of break evens to do that. I personally can't do that. I don't like watching my P&L go up and then come back against me. I just don't like that. I like taking some profit early, and I'm okay with missing a huge move as long as I locked in profit. I feel good about that. But everyone's psychology is a little bit different, so you got to experiment. But if you're holding trades into profit and then taking a loss, that's not that's obviously not going to be a sustainable method. So you want to really do some testing and research on that, and really get clear on what you're feeling and why that's happening. Like journal about it and see what you can come up with in like what is causing you to feel that way, and test out on a demo account some different methodologies for taking profit and see how you feel as you do them. See what works for those. All right. J2001, yes, you can. Some people get upset with taking profit too early. That is a factor as well. Yeah, for sure, Steve, for sure. And so, Jay, some people like claim that what I do with scalping a little bit of profit and leaving a runner is taking profit too early. And they're right. Like sometimes you do get a big move, right? Like they're not wrong. Sometimes you get a big move, but sometimes you don't. And that's the thing. Like there's many times where if I didn't take my scalp, I would have had a losing trade or a break even. Exactly. You can't go broke taking profits, with the exception of being ridiculous about it, right? Like some people take like a profit at like 1 tick, and like that's not really going to work long term. Like you have to at least have like a reasonable amount that you take. So that's the way I see it. But yeah, like locking in profits, taking base hits. Look, I'd rather take a bunch of, I'm not a baseball guy, but I like the baseball analogy. I'd rather take a bunch of base hits all day to win a game versus just going for home runs, right? Like it's much more sustainable to do that. That's the way that I look at it. It's the same thing like in soccer, for example. Like I'm a big soccer fan. It's way better when you get a bunch of team goals versus like winning a match because somebody takes like a 30-yard shot that almost never works, right? Like you feel much better about it when the team really participated and made a bunch of little short passes, nice sustainable goals the whole game, dominating possession, that sort of thing. Like you want to be like, locking it in as you're going. You don't want to be just going for like a Hail Mary, or like I always use the fight analogy. If you're a fighter, it's a losing strategy to just go for knockout punches only. You want to be taking jabs, playing the jab, playing the openings, taking little hits throughout the day, weakening your opponent, dodging hits, and then occasionally you get a knockout punch. And that's like, for me, that's like a runner. Occasionally I get a big runner. So that's the way I look at it. All right, let me see what I got here. Yeah, exactly. I think that Das is right. That's the way I do it too. I use the ATR to determine my first take profit. Yeah, exactly, DJ. That's the thing. Like, also, keep this in mind. By scalping a small profit every time, your win rate is going to be very high. And that's better for your psychology, in my opinion, than taking a bunch of losses or break-evens. That's the way I look at it, at least. All right, let me see. Jay, you think, I don't know what you mean by you think it's born out of respect for markets. I'm not sure what you mean there, but let me know what you meant. Yeah, exactly, Das. Like, if you were just taking like 1 tick or 2 ticks, I mean, like, also, you're just going to get wiped out with a loss. Like, it's going to take so many wins, Like, you're going to need to, like, really sustain, like, a huge win rate, like 95% type of thing. And that's hard for a lot of people to kind of keep. But, like, if you're trading the way I trade and your win rate is about 80%, then you're going to be successful in this with this strategy. If your win rate starts to get around 90%, you're going to be extremely successful. But like, you don't want to have to like force yourself to be at 95 just to be profitable. Like that's kind of ridiculous, I think, because just human error is going to happen. All right, let me see here. Yep, exactly, DJ. I like the fighter analogy. I used to do Muay Thai, kickboxing. I still train on my own. I don't like do it in competitive or anything like that, but yeah. No, Toad, the prop firms will not allow for that. No, I don't think so. I think most of them, I don't know what all their rules are, but I think a lot of them have restrictions around that. So yeah, I don't think you're allowed to do that in most of them. Steve, so you're saying... Yeah, exactly. Look, a lot of it's going to come with experience, Steve. A lot of that's going to come with experience. So just keep working at it, and you'll get there. Just keep working at it. All right, let me see here. If you're in here and you have not liked the stream already, please like the stream. We're trying to get to 60 likes today. Stream goal is 60 likes. We're trying to get to 5K subscribers. We are so far away from that. So if you haven't subscribed, please do so already. I'll be right back. I gotta step away for just a second. Be right back. All right, fam, I am back. All right, let me see. Das, you said the high... Yeah, you were saying that the high frequency firms are scalping for fractions. I've actually read... Yeah, I read a book about that a while back. They're like... They have like... Some of them even put their offices, like their data centers and stuff, like closer in proximity just to like minimize the amount of milliseconds. Like, dude, that's some wild stuff, man. That's some pretty wild stuff. All right, we're at 45 likes. We're trying to get to 60. Let's keep it cruising. We only need 15 more to hit our stream goal. We might hit it early today. Are we going to hit our stream like goal early today? I think we might. I think we might. So if you're new here, welcome. Welcome to everybody. Please give the video a like so we can get the stream out to more people. We're trying to get to 60 for our stream goal before we get our stream celebration. We're trying to get to 5K subscribers. We're on the road to 5K still. Cruising on there. Cruising on there. Let me see here. Let me see here. Yep, that's crazy, DOS. That is some wild stuff. I remember seeing some stuff about that a while back. I mean, you know, it's fascinating and interesting, but it's also like I'm not really like too worried about it or anything, because at the end of the day, what we're doing is we're trading retail style and watching the legs of correction in the market, and we're seeing the psychology of people print out on the chart and then trading based on that. I mean, that's basically what we're doing here. Like price action trading and seeing the two-legged moves and the triple tests and all this other stuff, it's all based on psychology. And it's because, like, most of the time people will try to do things twice. That's just human nature. And that's why they'll try to push the price twice before it succeeds. And it's the same reason that the first entry usually fails, because the people going short are trying to push it twice. The people going long are trying to push it twice. And then one of them succeeds. And the reason that triple tests work is that triple test is after the second attempt, it goes for the third attempt, and if it fails 3 times, it fails. That's just how it goes, because of just how the markets are going to move, how people are trying to move. It's like, usually if they've tried and they're on their third attempt, they already tried twice, and they're trying to, that third attempt, it's going to get smashed against them. That's typically how that goes. Oh, nice, DOS. That's pretty cool. I'd be curious to check that out. Man, I'll have to look that up. So yeah, pretty cool stuff. So here we go. We're coming back to the lows here. Now we did fail out the top side here. We'll put another blue line up here. See if it lines up. It doesn't line up to anything. It's kind of a new level now because it only lines up to that touch right there from basically right here. So we don't really even have much going on. I mean, does that line up? That lines up exactly to that high right there. So we double top that high. We'll keep an eye on that level up there. We are bouncing off these lows. it finally made a lower low than this one, which is nice because that means that that downtrend finally, well, that downtrend already had a new low, but we made a new low. We're basically equal to this low. So we'll see if we get anything here. I'd be a little reluctant here to go long because the problem is now you are forming a bit of a down channel here. And you have to respect that short-term channel. All right, let me see what's going on with our poll. We only got, oh, we got 36 votes in there. We could probably end the poll here. Let me see if I can. What is going on here? My UI is a little funky. Let me see if I can end that. All right, we're going to end the poll here. Let's see what we got. We got a pretty mixed bag. So we had 36 votes. It looks like only 25% said that they're struggling. 33% are on fire. 41% mediocre. And so, you know, pretty mixed bag in terms of everyone's trading for the week so far. And it makes sense because if you look at the character of the days, let's zoom out real quick and I'll show you. This is a clear range day. I mean, there's no way around that. Yesterday was an uptrend day that turned into a range for a bit and then turned into a downtrend. So yesterday was one of those days where you could get big runners and some really nice moves. Today's one of those days where there's a lot more chop happening. So a lot of times on range days like this, people struggle and they get chopped up. So it doesn't surprise me. You know, it's hard to shift gears for a lot of people to go from trading ranging style and trading trending style back and forth. But that's the whole thing here. As a price action trader, you have to be able to adapt. But let me know if you were one of the people that's having a mediocre week or struggling. Let me know what it is that is causing that. What do you feel like is causing that? What have you identified in your trading that's leading to that? Because I'm happy to talk about it on stream today and see if we can address any of it. Is it your strategy? Is it setups? Is it taking too many break evens? Is it taking too many losses? Let me know. Let me know what it is that you're experiencing. And if it's something that we can address here, we'll go ahead and look at it. We're breaking back down into this lower range down here. So that's interesting because we're kind of coming down. Now I had this blue line from earlier. I dragged that over. This was like an area that was coming into play earlier that we tried to break out of twice and failed. And then we finally did succeed up here. And you can see that's the perfect spot that we bounced from right there. So that's a level that we had from earlier. Steve, I do not trade in the evening at all. No way, pal. I only really like to trade in the morning. So I start trading about 30 minutes before the market opens, roughly. And then I just trade until the stream comes on. And then occasionally I'll take some trades during the stream or during like a Zoom call after the stream with the paid community or something like that. All right. Project Panic, you were in between mediocre and on fire. 2 decent green days, nothing crazy. Hey, that's still good, man. That's still good. That's still good. What caused losses for you? What were they? What were the setups that caused losses? Let me know. Was it like that you read a trend line wrong and took a second entry in the wrong spot? Or let me know if you identified that, because I'd love to be able to address it if you don't mind sharing like what you think it was. No pressure. DOS. Yeah, you don't like being caught in ranges, and when it's slow, you end up forcing trade. Yeah, so some people will do that. You know, there's something about when the price action's slow. A lot of people struggle with it, but we actually had some pretty spikes, some pretty decent volatility today for a little while. Danny, the price action rules definitely still work in the overnight, but it's so slow that you're going to be sitting in trades forever. Like, if you look at the overnight session on the tick charts, I mean, look at this. You've got barely any bars, you know, so you're like a second entry will form, but you're going to be sitting in it forever. Like, here's an example, right? So let's say you were watching this here and you got a pullback, first entry, pullback, second entry. You could take this second entry right here to close outside, move to a new low. You could take that and it would have worked, but who knows how long you'd be sitting in that trade. Now, it moved pretty far, so that would have worked fine. You would have gotten a second entry long there. That's an overnight trade, easy trade. But it might have taken you you know, hours for it to like properly play out. So you just have to be aware of that. And the bars are big because it's overnight. Not that big, but you get the idea. So you just have to know that kind of stuff when you're taking those setups. All right, let me change the beats here. We'll go change the beats. Change the beats. We'll go. You know what? Actually, let's listen to the beginning of that one. I like that one. If you're new here, check it out. I got this in the description and in the link tree, which is my course and my community. It's $99 a month. You get access to the premium section of Discord. You can go in, you get my full course. It's all in here. All these sections are expandable. So they're, you know, you can break them out. There's a lot in here. It's very comprehensive. Calendar, there's weekly calls, Zoom calls that are recorded, and then they're put in this section. You also get access to, within here and in the premium Discord, I post the chart updates throughout the session. So you can follow along with your charts. And also you can ask questions, and we're talking live during the market. I have all my free materials on YouTube, my free trading Discord, and then on the social channels. So that's all in here. So check it all out. Let's see. Oh, okay, no losses, not many trade. Yeah, so that'll happen sometimes. Project panic, that'll happen. That'll happen. And so Danny, if you're trading the overnight, it's fine. The only challenge is like, you know, it's like watching paint dry, dude. It's so slow. I just don't think that it's great. I mean, the price action's there. If it's the only time you got, you can do it. You might need to experiment with the tick sizes. Like I trade with the 2000 tick chart. So if you're trading the overnight, you might need to experiment with like maybe a 1000 tick chart or something a little bit smaller. Your mileage is definitely going to vary. Volume's lower. It's a little bit of a different thing. So just be aware of that. Everybody, let's get some more likes cruising. We're trying to get to 60 likes today. We're only at 49. We're close to the stream goal. Let's get some more likes. If you have not liked the stream already, please give us a like so we can get to 60. And we need 25 more subscribers to hit our goal of getting to 5K subscribers. We're getting there. We're getting there. Yeah, for sure, Toad. For sure. And if anybody doesn't know, my name's actually Nick. My name's Nick Bannock. And you'll see that when you go to the Instagram, because it just goes to my Nick Bannock page. Or if you check out my music, it's under Nick Bannock on YouTube. All right, let's see here. So we just broke back out. We broke into the range. We bounced from that level, failed back out the other side. So let's see what we get here. Let's see what we get here. We'll drag this level over. See if it comes back into play and if we just get a failed breakout there, which we might. I'm going to drag all these levels over that we had on the chart. Just the levels that we're trying to stay aware of. All right. Who's got some questions for me? We got 4976 subscribers. We're actually cruising now. We're cruising now, even after we got trolled by a couple people. But hey, you know what? We're going to get trolled from time to time, fam. We are going to get trolled from time to time. Let's see. Can we get 9 more likes and hit our stream target? We got 51 people in here right now. I know there's got to be a few of you who haven't liked it yet. Let's try to get to 60 likes. Get it cruising. Let's get it cruising. Are we going to get a higher low here? Maybe. Not the most ideal because we don't have a close outside a new low on this little down channel here. So I don't love going long yet. You need a really convincing setup here. You need a really convincing setup. But we'll see if we can get one. I'm going to hang for a few here, see if we can get a nice trade. Maybe we can get a nice trade. We'll find out. We shall see. We shall see, fam. We shall see. Should be an interesting rest of the week. You know what? Actually, I want to check something real quick. Let's see what... I think there's some data releases this week, if I remember correctly. Let's see. Tomorrow they got existing home sales data release 30 minutes after the open. There's also a possible... Matt. There's also a possible like speech. Apparently the president is going to talk about AI or something. That might be a thing. Existing home sales change. All of that's scheduled 30 minutes after the open tomorrow. So there might be some interesting stuff there. I will say you're gonna have to watch out on Thursday morning because we got the jobless claims an hour before the open. And then we've got that stupid thing where 15 minutes after the open, there's the US S&P like services data. And then 30 minutes after the open, there's new home sales data. So like Thursday is going to be kind of a wild day of data. And you have to watch out for those because it can get you tripped up if you enter a trade too close to that. Friday, there's not much. There's just some like data releases an hour before the open. But it does look like tomorrow and Thursday, there are some data releases to be aware of. You want to make sure you're not in any trades during that stuff. If you're in a trade going into a news data release, you're just bound to be asking for trouble. Just not worth it. We're actually forming a second entry short here, possibly. Really interesting. Not one that I would want to take right into the lows of this possible support that we're just breaking back into. So we're kind of in a no man's land right now. This is sort of a no trade zone for me. We got to be patient here. You don't want to take that higher low. You also don't want to take necessarily a short here. You want to be patient because we have a few conflicting things. We need the downtrend to play out. We also need the uptrend to play out. And we have the range that we kind of just failed out of and failed back into. So it's one of those things. You got to be patient here. Does look like a nice second entry short is forming. But again, that's a little risky. You don't want to short right at the level. You don't want to short right at the level. So we got to be patient here. Somebody liked and unliked. You know what? Trolls are out today, fam. Trolls are out today. But hey, we're trying to get to 60 likes. So let's get it cruising. You use Forex Factory. Nice. You know what? I've never actually looked at that. Was it Forex Factory? Let me see. I've never even looked at this, so let's pull it up. Ugh, this UI is terrible looking. Good grief, dude. That's pretty ugly, but you know what? I understand. Okay, so like let me look at like tomorrow. So you filter USD, and then let's see here. Yeah, I'm looking. So orange and red. Okay, so then get out the yellow. So orange and red, apply filter. Let's see how it looks. Okay, so that gives you one thing for tomorrow, which is the existing home sales at 7. Let's see what it gives us for the next day. It gives us the same ones that I'm looking at. Here's what I use. I use Financial Juice. Just because it's kind of, I don't know, it's just kind of funny. So I like Financial Juice because I don't have to filter for anything. You just create an account for free. And then right here, it shows you, it does show you some other stuff that might not be necessary. But it'll show you like that there might be some Fed speakers and little things. But then like for tomorrow, see, I didn't have to filter for anything. And it just has it already in red, existing home sales. And it shows you, you know, obviously if you trade crude oil, that would be there. But it shows you existing home sales for tomorrow in red. And then the next day it shows you all this stuff. And it gives you the data real quick and all that. So I like this. Forex Factory does the job too, though. They both work, you know. They both work. So some people like Forex Factory. I know that there's even news indicators that pull from here, I think, that you can get. I think Mac has one. I just use Financial Juice because I like it. And I actually have it, I have a feed from Financial Juice in my Discord that just has the news feed, which is kind of nice because then sometimes if something really crazy happens, like if there's like a military strike or something, you can see that in the feed. Yeah, exactly. So Justin You like the filter, it stays once it's set. That's pretty cool. And then Todd, yeah, Todd, I use Financial Juice. Shout out to Project Panic, because I think that was actually on Project Panic's recommendation a long time ago that I started using Financial Juice. So shout out to you, Project Panic, in the chat, because that's where I started. That's where I found it from. And I was like, oh, this is easier than the stuff I was using. Because what I used to use was, I used to use this one. It was called, what is it? It's like Bloomberg. I think it's called like Bloomberg Economic Calendar. I used to use this one, which is the Bloomberg Economic Calendar. And it's the same idea. And what I would do is I would change it to my time zone. And then I would just do filters. And what I would do here is I would do, where is it? Clear. And I would just target US. And then I would do double and triple for the importance and hit apply. And then I used to use this. It does the same thing, basically. And it shows you the same stuff that pretty much Financial Juice shows. And you can see it has everything. It has all the same stuff that I was just talking about. So I used to use this one too. This one's pretty decent. But I like the Financial Juice one for the simplicity, because I just open it. I just open it and it's good to go. I like their interface, so you know, check it out. Oh, check that out. So there is a second entry short there, and then you get this low, basically a bounce off the same level. That's pretty decent right there. It's only a double bottom though. It's not really a triple test. And this is the second entry short I was talking about. I don't think you really want to take that there. It's a setup, but I don't think you want to take that. I just think it's risky to go short right at that level after we just broke back into it. So I would just stay out of this stuff. This one is tempting here because it makes like this little higher low, but I just don't think it's great. So you just got to stay out of those. So we only need 5 more likes to hit our stream goal of 60. So if you're here and you haven't liked the stream yet, please give us a like so we can get to 60. We only got 5 to go. Cue it up, boys and girls. Cue it up. Cue it up. I gotta remember to say and girls. I looked at my YouTube analytics. Only 1% of my audience is female. But hey, shout out to you for actually hanging out and watching, because it used to be 99.8%. Now it's like 1% or something or 99% male, 1% female. It used to be like 99 point something percent male. So hey, shout out to all of you for checking it out. You know, I think there's just a lot of dudes in trading is what it is. A lot of dudes in trading. All right, so let's see here. Can we get 5 more likes to get us to 60? Can we do it? I think we can. I think we can do it. Oh, our subscribers are cruising. Jackie, you're the 1%. Jackie, you're the one. You might be. You're the 1%. Shout out to you, Jackie. Shout out to you. It's hilarious, actually. I was laughing about that. On social media, it's a little different. Like on Instagram and TikTok, the people that follow the trading content that I'm putting out, there's definitely more. But on YouTube, pretty overwhelmingly male audience on my analytics. Here, I'll tell you. I'll give you the most up-to-date number. Let's see. Just for fun. Why not? Just for fun. Just for fun. Let me pull it up on my screen. Hold on. I'm not going to show it on the thing, but I'll just go look. Audience. This is last 28 days. Let me see. Last 28 days. 99.1% male. 0.1% user specified. I don't know what that means. 0.8% female. We're missing 0.1% here, but yeah. So actually less than 1% female right now in the last 28 days. Let me see if I could change that to a longer time frame. Let's do like last 90 days. Let's see if it'll give me that data. Last 90 days. Same. So less than 1% still, but hey, you know what? Shout out to you. Shout out to you. Too good. All right. We're losing likes and gaining likes. What is going on here? How are we losing likes and gaining likes? Come on, fam. Come on, fam. We only need 3 more likes to get to our goal. I'm going to queue up the chat here because we're getting close. We're getting close to 60 likes, which is our stream goal today. Where is it? Let me see. We're getting close. Yeah, that's exactly. There must be a silent watcher on stream. There's got to be a silent watcher checking out the streams. All right, 2 more likes to go to get to 60. 2 more likes to go. We'll see, we'll see. 1 more like to go. All right, let's get some. I'll change the music real quick while we wait for the final like. The final is the final. Oh. Go! Goal! It's a goal, fam. Somebody unliked while we did the goal, but you know what? It still counts because we did hit 60, and we're back, 61. We are in. Get it in, fam. Get it in. We hit our stream goal for likes. You know what I gotta work on? I gotta work on a couple of things. There's 2 things that I gotta work on. But one of the most important ones that I'm gonna try to work on at some point this week is I gotta work on like something to play on the screen when that happens. I gotta work on something to play on the screen. I'm gonna talk to Howard about that. I'm gonna see if I can come up with something funny to add to our. I'll talk to Howard. So I'm gonna come up with something funny to add to our. Like, is it the same way that I do this when I say be back in 2 minutes on the screen? I know someone unliked at the crunch. Let's blame it on they were being overzealous and they were trying to like it. I think sometimes people forget that they liked and then they hit it again and it unlikes. I think that is happening sometimes. Because sometimes it'll go down and then up right away. It just went down again, so who knows. But anyway, I'm going to work on getting something that I can play on the screen for when we do that, because I think that'll be hilarious. So I'll talk to Howard about that, like coming up with something funny. We'll have a goal celebration to play on the screen. Maybe we'll come up with a few of them. That would be hilarious to play those on the screen whenever we do it. Yeah, that could be pretty good. That could be pretty good. I'll have to see if I can get some stuff that wouldn't be, because there's all that weird copyright stuff. So I just got to make sure that I can like get stuff that doesn't give us like copyright problems, because they can be really finicky about that. And last thing I want is to get us in trouble and then like, to have all that. So I'll try to figure out what I can come up with that would be pretty good and pretty funny for us. Maybe even something animated that would be hilarious too. So we'll get something there. I'll work on something. I don't know when it's going to come out, but I'll work on getting something funny just to make that celebration even better. All right, so that's our stream goal on likes. Now, really, the main focus is on getting to 5K subscribers. That's the main focus here. Can we do it? I think it's possible. Today, that's a big ask. 22 subscribers, that's a big ask. I don't know. But if we can't do it today, we could probably do it tomorrow. I mean, this is probably one of the lower ones, because we started with 49.72, lost 2, then gained 8. So, we've gained some, but trying to get 22 more is a tall order, fam. Tall order. All right, so let's see what we got here. We did bounce from this low. That level is definitely coming into play. Well, this is just such a choppy little range here. Here, let me shrink this trend channel just so it's not so in our face. We got this little channel working back up into the range here. So we'll see what we get. Slowed down quite a bit. That'll happen. No big deal. you guys got any questions, go ahead and drop them in the chat. Das, shout out to you for throwing the trophies in the chat. Pretty solid. Pretty solid. We're back up to 64 likes. We're cruising. We're getting more likes now. We're getting more likes. We'll keep cruising on those. We'll keep cruising. I forget what the highest... Let me go look and see. I forget what the highest amount we've ever had is. I'll go look right now. Hold on. Let's see. Highest amount of likes we've ever had. I think it was 96 is the highest we've ever had. And that was on July 11th. Yeah, that was on July 11th. We had 96 that time. But I think some of them did trickle in after. I don't remember how much it was on the actual stream. We haven't gotten to 100 yet. We've never had one that gets to 100 yet. So we'll make that one of the goals coming up soon. We'll make that a goal. Maybe for like Friday stream. Maybe something like that. We'll see. We'll see. Oh man. Yeah, you know, Das, it might be good to have more than one even. Might be good to have more than one of these to play on the screen for when this happens. Oh, too good. Too good. I'll work on getting something together. Something funny that we can play. All right, let's see. All right, so let's see what we got here. Just checking a couple of things real quick, making sure I didn't have any missed messages. By the way, if anybody wants to get any more info on what we're doing here, check out the link tree. It's here. Join the free trading Discord. You'll get a DM from the Me6 bot when you join that warns you of spammers and scammers. There's always impersonators who pretend to be me, who message people. That is not me. I'm not sending you friend requests. I'm not pitching you things in there. Not what it is. I'm not sending you DMs. I will respond to DMs for people who DM me first, but I'm not sending out DMs or friend requests or anything like that. So that's not me if you're in there. They show up everywhere. They show up in free communities that I make, YouTube comments, you name it, they show up. There's even a fake TikTok account right now. They copied my entire TikTok account. So just be careful. You got to really make sure it's the real me when you're look at usernames. You're really diligent, but it's all in here. It's free. On YouTube, you can check out my free courses. I got some long ones down here. I got this 4-hour one. Got the Ninja Trader setup guide. I got a bunch of other stuff in here. Check that all out. It's all really good stuff. And then, of course, if you want to learn the full strategy... Yeah, for real, Matt. They'll never be me. Yeah. Sorry to hear that. OMFG, sorry to hear that you've got a few of those. I ban them all the time. Dude, the amount of people I've banned is insane. The amount of fake accounts. But they're so smart now because what they do is they join my free Discord and they leave their username something else. But then they change their profile outside of my Discord to copy me, so I can't even tell. So, and a lot of times they block me and stuff, so I can't even find them. It's a whole thing. Like, they're pretty sneaky. So just watch out. If you want to join my paid community, it's here. It's $99 a month. Super chill to try it because it's only $99 for you to give it a go. Do it for a month, see what you think. Used to be $1.99 a month. Right now we're still keeping it at the lower price. And the community section is in here. You can ask questions. You can follow along in real time. Like you can see all these chart updates throughout the trading session before the stream. And when you open these, it shows you the actual way that we're looking at the chart, the trades. I put that all in the premium section of Discord that you get access to. You got the calendar. Everything's here. It also shows you when we're live, so that's kind of cool. You get the courses. You get the recorded calls going here. You also get access to the full course, and it's all in here. It's all in here. So check it all out. It's been amazing connecting with people as they're going through. All right, so we've got we gained a subscriber. We're doing well. We got 49.79. We're still on the road to 5K. That's gonna stay the goal. The big goal right now is 5K subscribers. We're so close, man. We're so close. I thought we might hit it today because, like, I thought last night we might get some more in the overnight, but it ended up not really happening. So we'll see. We'll see. All right, so what are we going to get here? We got a first entry short. Maybe we get a second entry short up here. Hard to say. There might be a second entry short that forms. So I'm actually going to hang out right here and just watch this. Yeah, for sure, Das. For sure. Dude, it's crazy what they come up with, man. Like, basically the one that most of them, people have told me, the one that most of them are coming up with right now is, there's two of them. There's one that they talk about a copy trading service or something, and they try to tell you that there's some copy trading service that they're offering with, like, promising all these crazy returns. That's one scam that they're running. The other one is something to do with, like, a new brokerage, like opening a brokerage that's going to give you, like, really good deals or something like that. That's the two that they're running right now, I think. It's unfortunate, too, because people fall for it. Like, I've had a few people reach out to me super upset because they fell for it. And I was just like, guys, like, I don't know what else I can do. Like, when you join my Discord, it literally sends you a DM from my bot telling you this stuff. Telling you that there's scams and, like, spammers and all this stuff. It's pinned in the messages in my Discord. I mean, like, there's nothing I can really do about it. Like, it's... Any Discord that you join, you're going to see it too. Like in any industry, like even, dude, like even in like I know people that teach yoga and they have people pretending to be them and offering services. I'm like, what is going on here? It's crazy. Crazy. Like, man, you would just think that some of these scammers would just find a way to do a real job. Like, if you're putting that much effort into scamming people, just create a real business. But anyway, it's unfortunate, but that's the world that we live in right now. All right, so we'll see here. We got a first entry short. See if we can get a second entry short, possibly. Maybe a second entry short, kind of like triple test style off the highs here. We'll see. We'll wait patiently for it. Yeah, I don't even know. I mean, I don't know where they're from. I have no idea. No idea. Yeah, for sure, Dean. I do my best, Dean, to like try to keep people protected. I make announcements. Yeah, I do my best, but it's crazy. All right, so let's see what we get here. Are we gonna get one? Are we gonna get one? Hey, DJ. Appreciate you, fam. Appreciate you. Thank you. We might get a second entry, but I would love it to be up here, higher up. Because it's really not off the level. I don't want to take it if it's not off the level. So we'll be patient here and we'll wait. We'll be patient and wait. Close. We're getting closer. We're getting closer. There it goes. So we might get a setup here. I'll get an order ready. Order submitted. Just in case. Just in case we get a setup. Todd, no, I don't use any of that stuff. I don't look at any of that. I just, what you see on my chart is literally all I have. This is all I look at. This is how I actually trade. how I look at my chart. I place the orders directly on the chart like this. So you're actually seeing what I look at right on my screen. So this is all I do. I just look at the 2000 tick ES chart. I just map everything out with these channels. This is the way I do it. So I don't look at anything else. I don't look at other screens. The only reason I have a second screen is because I like stream on YouTube and all that. So the screen that's right here that you're looking at is my chart. That's all I look at while I'm trading. And then my other screen is just my laptop screen. And that's just for like right now, it's just OBS is all it is for streaming. And that's it. I keep it real simple. You don't need to have a bunch of monitors. You don't need to do all that stuff. You just keep it real simple. With the way that I trade, you don't even really need other monitors. You can just trade with one. Well, we lost a subscriber again. I don't know what's going on, man. I feel like sometimes on the streams it's really funny. We'll like gain one, lose one. I think people come in sometimes thinking that like they're just gonna like join to like watch a bunch of copy trading or something. But what I'm trying to do here is show people how to actually read price action. Like this is, that's what this is. All right, so let's see. Are we gonna get a setup here? We might. It's moving pretty slow, so it's not super ideal here. So what we're seeing here is a channel working higher. You have a pullback, first entry. If it breaks below this bar, it's going to be a second entry short off of this level. Again, it's not perfect because we broke out of the highs of this level earlier, which makes it a little bit less ideal. Like if we had really respected that level better, it'd probably be a little bit better, but still a decent setup. This bar is only 6 ticks. So we're going to be able to take this one with probably with an 8 tick stop loss as long as our fill is normal. If we don't get filled on this bar, we'll cancel the order and we won't take the trade. That's the way this works. That's why I like entering on stop orders, because it only triggers if it goes down. I will say in this particular case, even with a second entry, this is one of those ones where you kind of want a lower high after a second entry, just because we just broke out the bottom here. We might try to break out the top there. So we'll see what we get here. My runner is all the way down here, but I'll just move it to that level there. We'll see if we get a decent setup here. We'll see if this ends up working for us. Okay, so while the trade is playing out here and we see what happens, let me see. So, okay, your first time here, so you're wondering my strategy. I trade with price action. So I'm a scalper. I'm a price action scalper, and I can't really explain the entire strategy in one go, but I trade the 2000 tick ES chart only. I'm a price action trader and scalper. That's my focus. And I look for very specific type of setup. I have a bunch of videos on the channel that explain it. I actually have a 4-hour course that you can check out on the channel that goes over some of it. I have some other videos explaining the strategy as well. And yeah, that's the bulk of it. Like, there's a lot to what I do. And then I have a paid community and course that goes through my entire strategy and how I do it. That's on School. So I have a paid School community that you can check out. And that's pretty much it. Like, I can't really explain the whole strategy just like in one go. It's really complicated overall, but it's simple. Sorry, it's simple but hard to learn because you have to become a skilled chart reader. So yeah, it's hard for me to like fully just explain it. But you can check out the channel and learn a bunch about it, watch how I do it. I live stream every day about it and all that sort of stuff. Gaurav, Jungle Boy, hey, how you doing? That's funny. That's funny. We'll see. We might take a loss on this one. I was thinking we were going to get the scalp here, but this is what I talked about a possible lower high. So if it forms a lower high here, then that might be the more ideal setup. We'll see. Ooh, Gaurav, sorry to hear that, man. That's huge. I'm sorry to hear that happened. I don't trade the triple Qs or the NQ or anything. I just trade the ES, the S&P 500. That's my jam, and that's what I focus on.
Target filled.
All right, target was filled there. It didn't move my stop to break even because it didn't tick through the order. So I'm going to move it manually here. Usually if it'll move automatically if it ticks through the order, but I was sitting in that trade for long enough that it filled me. It's unfortunate that it didn't tick through. I'm hoping it does and doesn't stop out my runner. Oh, it stopped out the runner. Annoying. I wanted it to fully tick through there. It ended up not happening. But whatever, we still had a winning trade there. I'm actually surprised that it didn't tick through the order. It probably will, is my guess here. It probably will. But sometimes when it gets slow like this and sideways, you end up just getting filled on your limit order like that, and it doesn't tick all the way through. So, this is... no, I've used other sorry, I missed a couple of questions. Let me go back here. OMFG... No, I have used other platforms. NinjaTrader is my favorite. NinjaTrader is my favorite platform. So here, let me draw this real quick. I'm going to draw this right there like that. I want to show something here. So NinjaTrader is my preferred platform, and I have the lifetime license, so I get better commissions and all that. But I've used other stuff. I used to use multicharts.net, which is pretty good, actually. It's not amazing, but it's pretty good. That was because I used to use AMP Futures as my brokerage. So I've used multicharts.net. I tried at one point to use TradingView. It was the worst experience ever. That was before I was trading tick charts. But multicharts.net, I used to trade tick charts on that, and that was decent. And I think you get it for free when you have an AMP Futures brokerage account, and they have pretty good commissions. So that was decent, but I like NinjaTrader a lot more. So those are the two platforms that I've really used for futures trading, is really multi-charts and NinjaTrader. So I don't have experience with the others. However, I do have people in my community who use Sierra Chart, and like I know Project Panic, he uses Sierra Chart. He really likes it. So I was actually talking about this the other day in the paid community. I was saying, like, if I used if I were to like evaluate, or if I were to pick a platform, it would be NinjaTrader. But if I were to like for some reason have to switch, I would probably use Sierra Chart. I like Sierra Chart a lot. I've never used it, but I've watched videos on it. I demoed it once. Like I made a demo on it once. So I wouldn't say like I actively traded on it, but I had a demo on it before and I did like it. So I like Sierra Chart and I like NinjaTrader. They have some of the best trade execution and like, I love the ATM strategy style. There's a lot to it. Yeah, some people use TOS. I've used TOS as well, but it's not my preferred method. I don't like the way that they do bracket orders and stuff. Like, there's a lot of weird stuff with the way that TOS does their stop losses and all that. So it's not I'm not a fan, to be honest. I'm just not a big fan of it. But I've used it. And everybody, hey, welcome. Everybody hit that like button. Let's get some more likes. Let's get some more subscribers cruising. We're trying to get to 5K subscribers. Oh, yeah, Steve. So you have to deal with TOS. Yeah. You know, look, NinjaTrader is amazing. Like, it's so good. It's so consistent. It's been around for so long. I just don't think you can go wrong with it. That's just my opinion. Man, look at how sideways this is. Just absolutely congested. And this is always unfortunate. Like, this happens sometimes at this time of the day. You know, this happened to me last week when we took a trade where it just like I took the trade and then congestion formed after I was already in the trade. It's always annoying when that happens. Here, let me mark this. This is the trade I just took. Second entry short. So if you just joined, I was just in a trade, but I'm already out of it. And it was here. I took a short. Yeah, TOS and Tasty Trade are definitely not focused on that. Yeah, I think that you're right. They are good for options trading, but I'm not an options trader, so I stay away. I've never heard of Tasty Trade. Sorry, I've never seen Tasty Trade. I've heard of it. I've never used it, so I can't speak to it. But yeah. This one is just sitting sideways. Sitting sideways. But this is congestion. When you start to get sideways like this and you get a doji and then another doji, this is congestion. Unfortunately, that happens sometimes. Yeah, volatility is low right now. It's not moving too much. This is one of those ones where all these bars are pretty tiny. So unfortunately, that can happen. You know, you can see that. Yeah, you can see 6. Like, look at the size of these bars. That bar is 6 ticks. This one's 8, 10, 6, 7, 7, 8, 6. Like, it's like really small bars. Really small bars. I do think that we might get, this might form another, like, sort of like a triple test lower high. And this thing should dump down here most likely. I know it looks a little bit like it's moving higher here, but this should come back and test these levels down here. I'd be surprised if it doesn't. But when you're in congestion, it can break out the upside and then the low side. And there it goes. And I will say this. This is not, like, I was saying this here with the with this trade, was that you have a first entry, second entry short. But it's, again, remember I was saying a lower high would be better, but when the lower high formed, it formed as a doji. So, and then it never broke below it. So you never got the full setup there. So anyway, that'll happen. That'll happen. But that's the beauty of the ATMs, because I got filled for my scalp without it ticking through my order and had a winning trade there. But if you don't enter with an ATM strategy and get in your limit order early enough, then I could have ended up with a loser there. So there you go. And sometimes you get 2 legs to a new high, and that's what we're getting here. 2 legs to a new high, but look at this. We broke out the top. So now we really got to be aware of what's next, right? So where could we go? Well, let's take a look. Whoops, didn't mean to do that. Zoom over. We got this levels up here. Like, we could easily come up to these levels today. We could easily do it. So we'll see what happens. We're pretty far from the EMA. That is 2 legs to a new high. So we could see a failed breakout here soon. Oh, I'm seeing these comments now. Dude, DOS out here. Somebody's got to reboot the Enigma server. Oh, dude. When I heard about I only heard about this Enigma thing recently because I made a couple videos. Look, I can't help it if people ask me about the whole like ICT stuff. Like, look, I can't help it. People ask me about it, so I commented about it, right? Dude, the amount of aggression I got from people who trade that style was insane. I'm like, yo, why are you so upset that I made a comment that I don't like the strategy? Like, it was so crazy. All I was doing, like, there was like a video or two where I talked about how I just think that the fair value gap stuff doesn't really mean anything and that it doesn't really help me as a price action trader. And that was it. Like, I was like, look, if it helps you, that's great. If you make money on it, that's great. But like for me personally, it doesn't actually do anything for me. And I just like made this comment and I was like, I just don't see the value in it. But like, again, and I commented, I was like, look, I don't trade the system. I didn't go through the ICT training and try to like really use the system. So I'm not an expert on it, but I just don't think that it really means anything compared to the way that I look at price action personally. And that's it. That's all I said. It shouldn't even be a big deal to someone who trades it. Dude, they lost it on me. People were losing it on me. I'm like, what is going on? Yeah, Daryl, for sure. Like, dude, I was not expecting the amount of ridiculous comments I'd get. Like, people were flaming me on TikTok. I was getting DMs from people. I was like, what is going on here? People were like, you don't know what you're talking about. You can't even trade because you don't even understand FVGs. And they're saying all this stuff. I was like, yo, what are we talking about here, guys? Like, what are we talking about? There's a lot of ways to trade. I'm not saying that you can't trade that way. I'm just saying for me personally, it doesn't mean anything to my trading. It doesn't mean anything to the way that I read charts. That doesn't mean it doesn't work for somebody. It was crazy. Exactly. Do whatever makes you profitable. Exactly. Like, there's different ways to trade, but people were losing it just because all I did was threw out a tiny little comment that I don't like it or think it's really that useful. It's wild, dude. It turned into a whole thing. I was like, all right, whatever. So then afterwards, I looked up some stuff about it, and then I heard about this Enigma thing and this dude claiming that he created the algorithm that runs the markets. And there's all this weird conspiracy theory stuff around it. And I was like, okay, this is absurd. This is like absurd stuff. What are we doing? Like, what are we doing here? Like, are we really going to like listen to somebody talk about trading that like claims that they created the algorithm that runs all markets and that it's like a conspiracy that's stacked against us? But if you follow this very particular thing that you're going to be able to get an edge on this conspiracy. And I'm like, what? That's just getting rid of all personal accountability with trading is what that's doing. You have to be personally accountable as a trader, right? It's just crazy, dude. Yeah, exactly, David, for sure. But like, man, yeah, exactly. Das, I saw that too. Then the dude claims that he was kidnapped, given secret info. I'm like, who's listening to this guy? Who's listening to this guy? Dude, I love all these comments. Yeah, David, and look, man, I don't want to knock the dude for that. Like, look, if he's got, like, if there's something mental going on there, like, look, I get it. But, like, the fact that people are following him like it's some sort of a cultish thing, and then they start flaming me for making any sort of comment is crazy. Because it's like, look, flame me all day if you want about my strategy. Like, if you look at the way I read price action, you can be like, oh, I think that's ridiculous. That's like a terrible way to trade. You can say that about me if you want, right? And I'm okay with it. Like, look, I'm not going to even get upset. I'm just going to be like, all right, you don't agree, whatever. Who cares? I know what works for me. I know it works for the people who study the way that I do it. So I don't really care what anyone else says. And that should be how it is. If somebody criticizes your trading style, who cares? If it works for you, it works for you. Who cares? Why should you get offended? If you get offended, then there's something real strange going on. So that's the way I see it. All right. Let me see. Yeah, and dude. Yeah, Hippo, that is true. I saw all that stuff, dude. It's just so ridiculous. Yeah, Matt, it is, man. It's all strange and ridiculous. Dude, just go on YouTube and like search up some stuff about it and you'll have a good laugh. There's one dude who did like a 45-minute video on it that I watched recently and I was just like, "Oh man, this is crazy." Yeah, David, of course. There's many traders who are successful in all different ways of trading, right? There's people who trade order flow. There's people who trade volume profile. I used to trade volume profile. There's people who trade linear regression. I used to trade that. There's like this ICT stuff. There's people who trade footprint charts only. There's literally people who don't even trade candlesticks and they trade other styles. There's lots of different ways to be a successful trader. And I'm not saying that nobody can do it in different ways. Like a lot of it doesn't even really come down exactly to the technical analysis. A lot of it just comes down to the way that they get, my opinion is, they've all developed a way of reading the market that has really good discretion behind it. That's what I think is really going on there. It's a lot of people who like, regardless of what tools they're using, they have a way of reading the market and reading the price action, and that's what's making them successful. That's my opinion of it. I don't like, I could put a bunch of indicators on here and trade with those and think that that's what I'm looking at, but really I just know how to read the market and I know when to take a trade. I know I have a feel for the market. It's a lot of it just comes down to the time that you spend in front of it. So I will say that. And yes, I will, Das, you are right. A lot of it does come from stuff where they just created new terminology for existing concepts. I do agree with that. They created new terminology for things that have existed for a long time, but they'll claim that they invented all of it in the early 90s or something. So that's the whole thing. Yeah, it's a different way of looking at the market, a different way of reading the chart. And the whole, yeah, but I think that whole thing of keeping the losses small and the winners big I don't think that's a sustainable strategy for most people. Because most people can't handle the psychological aspect of taking a bunch of small losses in a row just to get a big win. Most people can't do it. That's been my experience when I look at most traders. And a lot of traders that are successful do not trade with that type of risk-reward ratio. I agree, Hippo. I agree. And I think it's because the people who are taking successful trades are good chart readers, regardless of what they think they're doing. I've seen people that have like 10 indicators in their strategy that they're using, and they're taking the same trade that I take. And it's just that we both read the price action properly. It's just that they just have a different way of reading it. Like instead of using trend lines and all this other stuff and like looking at but we're still doing the same thing, right? So that's kind of the idea there. We might have two legs going up here into a channel. What I would do here is we might have two legs up, but this might also be a new channel that has formed here. Yeah, for sure. A chart is a chart, and everyone's reading the same price. You know, that's how this works. What the heck? My tool got busted there. It has no line at the top. What the heck? I was trying... I don't know what happened there. Let me fix that. Let me try that again. I'm trying to get this... I was trying to have it like that. There we go. Measured move. Bounce right off the level. So we are going for the level I was just talking about. We're going for the highs of the range here. We're going for the highs of the range. But welcome, everybody. If you haven't done so already, please give the stream a like. We just took this short before, a little scalp here. There's been a bunch of trades on this. There's been a bunch of setups, actually, that formed earlier, but then it was slow for a bit. Now we're grinding higher. If you haven't done so already, please like the stream, subscribe to the channel, and if you want to learn everything that I do, check out the link tree in the chat or in the description. Yeah, exactly, Das. You know, there's people who make it happen. There's people who make it happen. Kevin, you were down 1,500, but now you're up 400. You almost let your emotions get the best of me until you started scalping your way back to profits. You're calling it now. Hey, yeah, man, stop while you're ahead. That's good on you for making it back, but just be careful, man. It sounds like, it does sound a little bit like you might have got away with one. I don't know exactly what trades you took, but just be careful. Be careful doing that. I'm glad that you scalped your way back to profit, but just be careful, man. Just end it now. End it now and evaluate every trade you took today and see what happened there. Yeah, for sure, man. For sure. For sure. I'm going to wrap up the stream here in a couple of minutes because we've been at it for almost 2 hours. So I gotta get cruising soon. I'm trying to go out. I'm gonna go to I think I'm gonna go paddle boarding on one of the lakes here today. Just go enjoy the outdoors. Get a workout in first. You know what I'm gonna get a walk in, workout in, and then I'm gonna go paddle boarding and just enjoy the outdoors today. Enjoy the outdoors. Yeah, exactly, Jay. Exactly. No one to hold them, no one to fold them. So here we go. We're getting up to the measured move, but we're probably going to go above that. I think we're looking. Let me zoom out real quick. Curious. Yeah, it's basically where we are. Measured moves achieved. We're going up to today's open and close and yesterday's close price, and then we got the highs of the range. Yeah, we're gonna probably get there now. Look at this thing go. Look at that. How's that? How is that, fam? Look at that go. What a move. Out of nowhere. Just out of nowhere. Incredible move right there. Just popped out of nothing. Right back up to the open and close price. And now we're going to cruise up probably to the highs of the range. You can see that's the highs of the range from the overnight. So are we going to get there? Yeah, I think we are. Pretty sweet. Unfortunately, I don't have a setup here to take. Like, there's no trade setup in this. It's just a one move up. So we'll wait and see if we can get one. I don't think we're going to get one before the stream's over, though, because I don't want to hang out too much longer. But I appreciate everybody who came out today. And for sure, check out the link tree. Check out the school community in the description. Let me double check something real quick here. All right, all right. So we will see here. I do think that we're going to see this thing pop down a bit here. Hope everybody's having an amazing week. Hope everybody's just having an amazing week. Again, check out the description for the school community so you can learn the full system. Let me know if you have any questions on it as well. You can always join the Discord and ask whatever you want. Hey, thanks, Jackie. I appreciate you. Shout out to you, Jackie. Shout out to you, as always. Shout out to everybody in the chat today. Having a good time today. Shout out to everybody. Good to see everybody here. Good to see all the regulars. Thanks everybody for voting in the poll earlier. We keep getting a lot of mixed results in the polls, so we'll have to see. Hopefully we'll start to get some more consistency there. All right, so looks here. Pullback. We got a first entry long, but this is not a leg. This is not a leg. This is just congested. You can't really treat that like a leg. You know, with like not in a confident way. Yeah, Jackie, the 1%. Oh man, Das, I'm sorry to hear that. That's really rough. Horrible stuff, man. Horrible stuff. Yeah, for sure, David, for sure. I'm gonna watch this for a second here because I just want to see what this does when it comes back to the trend line. Let's see if we get something here. We're coming back to the trend line. We did just come up to, you know, basically the highest point that we made during the regular session, except for right here, I think. Actually, no, it's higher than that. So we've made new highs on those channels that we needed new highs on, but we haven't made it to the range high. We could end up getting it. Let's see. Let's see if we get it here. This could turn into a bullish candle. We could end up with like it would be sort of like a microsecond entry because this isn't really like a leg, but it could happen. Ooh, it's getting close. It's close. It's fighting. It's fighting with this trend line possibility. It is fighting with it. There you go. I mean, you got to argue. Is this the trend line like this? Like, it doesn't really fit that well there, though. I don't love that. I don't love that. Like, is that a close outside? I don't love that. Right there. It's just like, that's kind of just right on the cusp, you know? Because I went off this close. It's right on the cusp. So I don't love that. And it does look like it could fail on you. You got to be aware of this slight downward bias here. That's sort of in play. You can kind of see that. You got to be aware of the possibility that we're going to try to grind through this a bit. So I don't love that setup. It's kind of a pullback first entry, pullback second entry, but it's a little risky. It didn't really form in the way that you would really want it to back within the trend line. And if you try to drag the trend line to fit it, you kind of miss this touch right here. So I don't love that either. And then like, it's just kind of a wonky thing if you have to move it like that. So to me, I'd be a little bit weary of that, especially with this bias going down. And again, this is really like a double top. So you really want to look at this like one leg first entry, look at it like a first entry long, and then wait and see if it actually does become a second entry long, like a proper extra leg, maybe back to the EMA or something. So let's give it a second and see if it does. Let's see if it does give us a visual, like a visual second entry long, like a double top, pullback first entry, pullback second entry long. It's not, in this case, I would treat this like a first entry. We'll see here. And after I wrap up the stream, what we'll do is we'll get the next one for tomorrow scheduled out. And then, of course, tomorrow after the stream, we got the Zoom call with the paid community. So everybody could join that if you're in the paid community. And that'll be like a call that'll be about an hour and a half after the stream starts. And it's always recorded. It's like a training call. So looking forward to having that call with everybody. Hey, Martin, good to have you here. Sonny, I'm sorry to hear that happened to you. Sorry to hear that happened to you. Let's see here. Martin, so it depends on the ATR. So it depends on the... Das, that was good. So, Martin, it depends on the ATR. So right now the ATR on the 21 is pretty low. So I'm only going for 1 point. So 4 ticks on my scalp target, and then I leave a runner. So like earlier when I took this trade, I got 4 ticks, and my runner was set to go all the way down here, but it ended up not getting filled because I got the take profit and then break even stop. But it varies. I'm a scalper, so I go for just like a point or two on my scalp, and then I leave a runner. That's how I do it. And I got a bunch of stuff in that on the channel that you can check out too. So I don't know if this is just too slow now. I'm not going to keep hanging out here. So I was thinking like maybe we get one leg down and then we get a second leg down, second entry long. So it might happen, but I'm not going to keep watching this because it's like watching paint dry right now. And I got to get running. But I appreciate everybody for joining the stream and for giving us the likes, getting us to our goal of 60. We're still on the road to 5K subscribers. So if you haven't subscribed, definitely do it now. And then definitely check out everything in the link tree in the description. Looking forward to seeing everybody tomorrow. I hope you all have a good rest of the day. I appreciate you all. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you.